Happy New Year, everyone. And I've done this literally 10 times. I keep either getting interrupted, or I go off on a tangent and it's not where I want to go. I hope you guys had a fantastic, wonderful holiday season. Um, Mine was hard this year only because I allowed my sadness, my fears, and all that to get in my way. I just didn't feel it this year, and but that's okay because 2024 is gone. Welcome to 2025, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about my word of the year because I don't do um, resolutions. I guess you could say you can argue that they're the same thing, but the way I think of things, they're not. I sat down and I wrote down everything I want to conquer this year. There's so much that I want to be able to do by the end of this year. And I don't have a choice. I'm not giving myself a choice because the choice is not acceptable. Because if I don't conquer things this year, I won't be sitting here next year. I'm trying not to cry because I'm a crybaby, but you know what? That's who I am, and I'm going to embrace who I am. I don't say that to be dramatic, and I'm not going to do anything to myself, on purpose, but my body is breaking down. I feel it, not just my knees, not just my legs, not just my back, inside. I feel it. My body is begging me to get healthier, and I've got to listen to it. I have got to make that my priority over food or eating food that just because. And that's where I'm at this year. I realized I am going to let's talk about my plan a little bit. I am going to be doing Weight Watchers, continuing Weight Watchers, but I changed it to the diabetic plan. I know I'm close to being diabetic, but that's not the main focus why I did it. Why I did it is because I feel like my body reacts better when I eat the way a diabetic is supposed to eat. I think I have some resistance to stuff, food resistance, or whatever they call it. I also want to learn to eat to fuel my body, not eat to fuel my emotions. Um, Part of me, I'm going to be honest with you, why I went with and I do believe that on Weight Watchers you can eat whatever you want in moderation. And all food is not bad. There's no such thing as bad food. If you don't have any health issues, if you don't have any food addictions, but I believe, and I have not wanted to face this fact, but I'm going to be honest with you, as part of me did not want to do something that restricted me from certain foods because, and I use the excuse, well, then it's going to make me want to eat more, which is not necessarily a lie because it is the truth. But the main reason why is because I didn't want to give it up. I feel like if I don't have this, then what's the purpose? And that's just my food addiction talking. And I have understood that now. So I have to fight to break that because I want to learn to eat food that fuels my body. Now, I know this is going to be a challenge because I am on a lower budget for food. I can't go out and afford to buy, I really was watching this lady that looked really good, but she was eating that PB2 peanut butter and chocolate. I can't remember what else she put in there. And on these low carb bagels. No hate to her by any means. I love her. She's one of my favorite people to watch for inspiration. But I'm sorry, when she has like a coupon code that you can go to buy the bagels. They're $12 for 6. And if you can afford that, I'm not going to judge you. Because if I could afford it, I would probably get it. I can't afford to buy these specialty foods to help me along. So I have to learn how to cook for my budget. I can't get the $12 bagels. And I don't mean to laugh. I guess it kind of blows my mind that people have the money to spend that kind of money on stuff like that. And then you open up their refrigerator and they have all these specialty foods and and I'm thinking, how can you afford, it's a whole new subject I could talk about. And I'm not here to judge them because if you have the money, your health should be first. And if that means spending more money. But I don't have free amount of money to spend on groceries. And I can't take $12 out of the budget just for one item. But anyway, some people can argue you can have just one, half of a bagel that lasts you, which is fairly true. But I think I can survive and do well without spending that money on that. But anyway, it's about learning how to cook. I already cook simple type meals. I am not one who wants to put in 15 different ingredients. It's just not me. But I do want to learn how to, not even learn, because I do know how to cook. I need to put more effort into it. And not, buy the canned cream of mushroom soups, and because there's so much salt in them. I can make my own, and it's fairly cheap to make. And you can do it in a little healthier way, and just batch cook and then freeze them, and there you go. So I'm going to start doing more of that this year. Learning how to batch cook, learning how to make things healthier, learning how to budget in healthier foods. That means not buying the potato chips, because let's face it, potato chips, I'm going to be a little wrong and real here. Please don't judge me, but I think I'm going to change. I have to be honest. I can buy potato chips. I can buy those peanut butter wafers. What do they call them? Nutty Buddies. And I would buy I'm trying to think what normally I would buy, like the cheese nips or whatever. You add those up, and let's say it's about $12 to $15. No, it's not that expensive. That's a lie. Let me do it real quick in my head. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say $10. I can either spend $10 in fruit and healthier stuff like the PB2, so I can treat myself to something, little things like that, or I can buy the junk food that I don't have control over, and by the end of the week it's all gone because I cannot stay away from them, and it blows my diet. What's more logical? Obviously, I know what's more logical. My food addiction thinks this is more logical. So that's something that's going to change this year. Starting Tuesday when we get our groceries, I am not going to buy any of that stuff. I have this thing in my head where I make deals with myself. Oh, just eat it today and then tomorrow, right back on program. They tell you can have a cheat day. No, that's my food addiction talking. I cannot have cheat days, because not right now, not until I get under control. So no more cheat days. Be smarter with what I buy, and do what it takes. If it means I have to cry and have a fit and just really just think I'm dying because I'm not having any of those chips, so be it. Because I'm not dying, I'm living. I'm learning to live. So anyways, losing weight is a huge impact on me, and I know I went off a tangent now. I can't even remember what I was talking about before, but it's about getting the food under control. I don't know if I said this or not in this video that, I'm putting a 175-pound weight loss goal for this year. I don't care what anybody says. I can do this because the word I'm using this year, and I think you probably have already figured out because I've said it several times, conquer. My second word that's going to be, that kind of ties in with this, is consistency. I have the saying, when the tough get going, I don't know if I said it in this one too. I've done so many things I don't remember what I say. I keep having to remake the videos. When things get tough, the tough get going. Nope. I run from it. Not on purpose. It's my anxiety, and I've allowed my anxiety to take over. I've allowed my self-doubts to take over. So I've got to learn to keep moving through the rough spots. I need to learn to conquer them, and I need to learn to conquer this food addiction, because it affects every aspect of my life. I want to conquer food addiction and my mental health, because I do believe they are hand in hand. No one will ever convince me they're not. So I have to work on both of them at the same time. Anxiousness is kind of hard, because it is a mental illness that has been diagnosed, that I do have a different chemical makeup, but it should not be used as an excuse, because I believe some of it is, and I believe most of it is, environment. I think I'm naturally anxious. My mom was naturally anxious. I have family members on my mom's side that are naturally anxious, that we all have mental illness like that. Well, as far as like depression and anxiety, I have a cousin on my dad's side. Unfortunately, I get whammied by both sides. Unfortunately, who It's gonna be hard. One of my favorite cousins in the world who passed away on my birthday 2 years ago from an anxiety-induced heart attack. And I don't want it that for me. And I don't want my anxiety to cripple me like it crippled her. And I can see it starting to do it. So we're going to kick its butt. And I believe once you get both those hand in hand and just doing things like, I have to learn how to control when I get anxious. Breathing techniques, listening to ASMR. I don't know if people know what ASMR is. It's kind of, when you first watch it, you feel a little funny about doing it, but there's something about people with anxious minds. They've proven this, that it calms them down, and it does me. I'm one of those people that it actually affects positive, depending on what it is, but there's like, just, it's a calming thing for me. I gotta learn to reach out more. I try to handle my feelings. And then I end up, I have one dear friend that unfortunately she has to hear it all because she's the only one I'm comfortable talking to about it, but I've got to learn to open up and be a little bit more honest with Jason about how I'm feeling, even though it's hard because he's so black and white. He doesn't always understand the anxious side of it or the emotional side of life or anxiety, because you make a decision, and that's the end of it for him. So, and I wish I could be like that, but I'm not. But anyway, and I have so many things I want to conquer. My business. I want to get my business up and running and really put effort in it this year. And I had let self-doubt stop me last year. This whole, I can't do this, and I don't know how to do this, and fear, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not popular enough. I don't have enough followers. But that means I have to be active, more active on YouTube, more active on Instagram, more active on TikTok for my business. And also more active in my personal life, coming on here more. When I say I want to build a community, I mean it. And I have had such loving remarks, even though I have low watch count. I am loving the people who take the time to make the content or comments or heart it or whatever, any interaction, and that just means a lot to me. And I want to work on that. I want to work on giving back to you. I'm only going to get back what I put in. So that means coming on here more consistently. And I'm just going to be me. If that means that my videos go on 50 minutes and I'm just rambling, I'm doing it to help myself and whoever else who was meant to watch it. And if it's not your thing, there's plenty other YouTubers to watch, and I have got to accept that it's okay. I don't want to sound mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but this year's about conquering, and one of it is standing by my own beliefs and not worrying about, am I being too long on the video, or am I, who's gonna? I don't care, because the right people are gonna watch this, or the right people are gonna watch the section that he needs to listen to. So that's a huge thing for me, because I have a desire to help other people. Sorry, I had a clicking underneath I have a UPC thing, and I thought it was clicking, is not. I just know that there's so much needs to change in my life. And one of them is taking control and not worrying about what everybody else thinks. Another thing is I have to stop all the self-hate, self-doubt, everything that I do. I sit there and I will say, try not to cry, how much I hate myself. I hate this. I hate that. And I will make fun of myself, and I'll call myself names, and I'll scream at myself. And that needs to stop, because I can't. I'm my own biggest bully, and that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. So it's daunting. I've got a lot I need to change. There's so much I need to change. I'm trying to look at the list I wrote to make sure I said everything, or at least one of the things I wanted to say. And I've talked or tried to do this video so many times, I don't know what I talked about and what I didn't. I hope I talked about how I changed it to the diabetic plan, because I just want to learn how to eat better and better for my body, and not feed. I don't want to feed my food addiction. I don't want to feed my sugar addiction. I want to feed my body healthy and I want to feed my health. So anyway, I know this is going on, but as I said, I need to stop worrying about that so much. I'm just looking forward to this year. It's going to be a lot of hard work. I know I'm going to have some falls, but I've got to be okay with that because, you know, I may not lose all, or I may not win all the battles, but I'm going to win this war. And by the end of this year, I'm going to be 175 pounds less, y'all. Can you imagine? I am so super excited. And trust me, if you're struggling, I get it wholeheartedly. But we can do this together. And if I can do it, anybody in the world can do it. I am here. As I always say, I am here. If you need to talk, if you need to, you know, I'm here. Just whatever you need, I will do my best to be here. We will get through this together. And for those of you who are just cheering me on, keep cheering me on because I'm not going to lie, I need it. Am I going to have all happy videos? I'm going to tell you right now, no. I'm going to be real and I'm going to be raw this year. And I know I said that message and I meant it, but I got to keep moving forward. I'm going to conquer everything and be consistent because that's my other word is consistency because I'm not very good at being consistent. So I will be coming on here more. I know I say that in almost every videos, but this year it's about conquering my fears of why I don't come on here and do more YouTube videos. So we've got this, you all. This is going to be a fantastic year. We've got to learn not to trip and fall just because one thing may occur because we all go through trials in life and some of them are really extremely hard. But please, if you're young, even if you're my age, it's never too late, number one, even though I will try to convince myself it is, and that's just my ego or my fear or whoever trying to talk me out of doing things that are challenging because I'm not good with that. But if you're in your 20s and your 30s and you're struggling, or you're watching this thinking that, you don't, just know, do it while you're younger. Just don't spend years like I did, wishing, I'm trying, I'm wishing. Don't let it win. Don't let those voices in your head that are giving you those doubts win. Fight for your life. That's what I feel like I'm in this year. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my why. Because I refuse to just exist in this world anymore. Because that's all I'm doing is existing. I am adding nothing to this world because I have allowed myself to become fat, more depressed, and not believing in myself. How am I helping the world that way? I am not. It's about putting positivity, about putting a real effort forward, and about becoming a happy person, because the more happier people there are, there's less miserable ones. And we've got this, y'all. I hope no matter what your goals are this year or what you want to achieve this year, I hope that you go in full force and you get everything you want and deserve. Okay, guys, have a good one. Talk to you later.